Morning. Easy. No rush. Just take your time. I know waking up slowly like this can feel a little strange. That's all right. I'm right here. Take a nice slow breath for me. In and out. Good. See, that's it. No need to do anything quickly. You're perfectly all right. I did come in with some good news, actually. I thought I'd start with that. You know, I think you may be ready to go home today. Not immediately, don't worry. I'm not about to hand you your things and send you marching out the door. But yes, assuming this final check looks the way I expect it to, today should be your day. So, that's a nice way to start the morning, don't you think? Exactly. Okay, so to start with, just look at me for a second. Good. Nice and easy. Keep looking. I'm just going to look into your eyes. Follow my finger slowly. That's it. Left and back. Good. The other side and back again. Perfect. Good. Exactly what I wanted. You are definitely much more awake this morning. That is a very good sign. How are you feeling, by the way? You can take a second before answering that. Don't feel like you have to rush. Probably think about it. Yeah. All right. That does make sense. Mornings after surgery often feel a little slower. Not in a bad way, just your body is still taking its time to settle into normal rhythm again. That's completely expected. Okay, now I'm just going to check your pulse. It's okay. Stay relaxed. Good. Nice and steady. Exactly where I'd want it. Everything does look very calm about you. That's what we like to see. Did you sleep well? Well, as well as anyone ever sleeps in a hospital, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, that all sounds about right to me. The first night is always a bit unusual. You drift in and out, wake briefly, wonder where you are, and then go back under again. But the important thing is that your body got the rest it needed. And it clearly has. You look much more settled than yesterday. Let me just adjust this a little. There. Is that better? Good. Now, I know it can be slightly strange being told you're ready to go home. Most people spend the first part of recovery wanting exactly that. And then, when it actually becomes real, there's this moment of, am I definitely ready? Sort of feeling. But that is perfectly normal. You've had people around you, routine checks, quiet monitoring, especially me coming in and out to check on you. That kind of safety becomes familiar very quickly. And I know going home can feel like you're stepping out of that safety net. But honestly, you are recovering really well. I wouldn't tell you otherwise. It's okay. I know the thought of leaving can even make you feel anxious, but just take a nice slow breath again for me. That's it. No effort, just natural. Perfect. While you're doing that, I'm just going to have a quick listen. Just keep breathing normally, slowly in and out. Yes, exactly like that. Good. Very good. Everything sounds nice and settled. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Honestly, mornings like this are usually my favourite part. Things are calmer, less rushing around. You can actually sit with someone properly and make sure they're feeling like themselves again. I think that part matters the most. It's easy to focus on only procedures and charts and timings, but helping people actually feel settled enough to leave matters just as much. How does everything feel this morning then, just generally? Feeling a bit like heavy and slower than usual? Yeah, don't worry, that is completely expected. That does tend to ease gradually. Nothing about this morning is surprising me, and that's generally reassuring. I'm just going to make a quick note about this. You know, I do suspect there are two types of people in this situation. Those who want to go home the moment they are told they can, and those who immediately decide maybe staying a bit longer sounds safer. Which one are you? Yeah, that is a fair answer. I think the important thing either way is not rushing yourself mentally. You know, recovery isn't just your body catching up. Sometimes your brain needs a little longer to believe that everything's all right too. That's perfectly normal. Now just rest against the pillow for me and relax. Comfortable? Good. That's much better. You've done very well, genuinely. Recovery isn't passive, even when it looks like it is. Your body's been doing a huge amount quietly in the background, and it's done exactly what it needed to. That's why this morning looks so positive. Do you have any plans once you're home? Or is the plan to simply just disappear under a blanket somewhere and be left alone for a while? Honestly, that sounds entirely reasonable. I usually recommend rest, quiet, familiar surroundings, and of course being kind to yourself. People often say they are back to normal and they want to prove themselves, but you don't get a prize for going back to normal as quickly as possible. Steady recovery is far more useful. Just take another quick breath in and out for me. Yep, perfect. You're very easy to examine this morning. Everything's just calm. And calm is good. Very good. Let me just check here. There we are. One thing I always tell people is that recovery mornings can feel a bit emotional sometimes as well. Not in like a dramatic way, just reflective. You've been through something truly significant, even when it all went smoothly. And your body knows that. Your mind catches up in its own time. So if this morning feels slightly surreal or quieter than expected, that's all right. You don't need to explain it, just let yourself be where you are. Don't fight it or resist it, just let your body do its thing. And you know, I think sometimes people imagine doctors only care about big moments. Operations, critical decisions, or urgent situations, but honestly, these quieter moments matter just as much. Seeing someone like you comfortable and recovering well, telling them they're ready to go home. That's one of the best parts of the job. It shows that we've done our best and everything we can to make you feel good and go back out there into the world. How are you feeling about leaving? Excited? Uncertain? Or both? Yeah, that sounds about right. You don't have to feel only one thing. You can be pleased to leave and still want reassurance. That's entirely normal. And for what it's worth, everything I'm seeing this morning tells me you're doing exactly as you should be. No surprises, no concerns, just straightforward, steady progress. That's the best kind of morning. So, what happens from here is all fairly straightforward. We'll get the final discharge side of things sorted. Nothing exciting, I'm afraid. A bit of paperwork, a few final checks behind the scenes, and then you'll be free to head home. But before all that, just a couple of things. When you do get home, like I said earlier, be kind to yourself for a few days. That's probably the biggest one. People have a habit of feeling a little better and immediately deciding that they are back to normal. And I admire the optimism, but your body is different and will appreciate a slightly gentler approach. So, rest properly. Take things slowly. Keep things quiet if you can. Familiar surroundings, like I said, help. A nice comfortable chair, a blanket. Something easy to watch that doesn't require too much thought. That sort of thing. Nothing dramatic. No rushing straight back into trying to do everything at once. Recovery always goes more smoothly when you let it stay steady, And if at any point you just feel like you need to stop and rest, then rest. You don't need anyone's permission for that. That's part of your recovery too. Okay, you still alright? Good. And I know there's always a slightly strange feeling when you're transitioning out of this part, but you've done really well. And you are in a very good place this morning. So I want you to actually let yourself feel reassured by that. Actually take it in. You've been through a lot, a traumatic event, and you've done really well. And everything has gone smoothly. And this morning looks exactly how we'd hoped it would. That matters. And, you're much calmer now than when I first came in. That's always nice to see. So I'll now leave you alone and let you rest for a little while longer. No need to rush yourself awake. Someone else will come through shortly and help with the practical bits, but for now, just enjoy the quiet. Let your body keep doing what it is already doing so well. Rest, breathe, take your time. You've done really well. Get a little more rest while you can and enjoy being back in your own space soon. Take care.